It is a beautiful day. We are very, very grateful to be here in Bloomsburg and be safe. We're very grateful for the hospitality we're receiving and the kindness, the forgiveness, and especially in this time of turmoil. I mean, Katie's okay, but I shouldn't be alive. I think we could all agree on that. Me having breath in my lungs right now is pretty unbelievable. Not only after what I've been through, but also, you know, the way that I've been. And then on top of that, just, I mean, blessing on blessing, opportunity on opportunity. It never ends. And every time I think it's the last day or the last road, you know, it's all over, or, you know, we're gonna have to go and give up. That day doesn't come. The days continue on, the positivity moves forward, and Feetpeace lives on. So, thanks for watching, and see you in a bit. Hey everyone, so it is day 3 of Bloomsburg? No, how long have we been here? A week, almost, a little over a week? Something like that. And we are downtown, and are we down, is this downtown?
This is like the end of town.
This is the end of town. We're down at the end of town. I'm just taking a walk through and sorting some things out, you know, making sure that we'll have no problems. Also making sure that we have solutions. Also making sure that the people that need solutions other than us have solutions. All good things. I will tell you, very interestingly, almost every church in town does have a pride flag. Not saying good or bad, but what I will say is, this may be the most welcoming town I have seen in quite a while. Now, whether or not word spreads fast, right? People talk, that's how life works. But this is one heck of a connected community. And me personally, I think that's a great thing. I think there are a lot of people who may question that, or, you know, who are like, people are too much in people's business. But coming from a background where, you know, the business was minded a little too much, Bloomsburg seems to be just enough. You know, it seems like people, they rally and gather to protect one another and take care of one another. And it's very cool. And yeah, sometimes maybe things get a little out of hand. But what I've always liked about Bloomsburg is how the simplicity of the way people live here is in cohesion. There's not a whole lot of turmoil within the communities at large. There's little, you know, fusses here and there, but for the most part, people get along. I mean, that's, from my personal standpoint, that's fantastic. I don't know if it's you know, no community is ever going to be perfect, but Bloomsburg's very welcoming, and they're also very open to one another, which is cool, because you don't see that often, especially in towns of this size that also, you know, maintain a certain level of wealth. This is a decent town to live in, and people are very, very nice, very welcoming, and you know, I know that in the past Bloomsburg had been known for parties and whatnot, but even the students that we come into contact with, for the most part, they're rather docile. They're just, you know, they're just doing their thing. Now, as far as whether or not the state of things right now has much to do with that, you know, I can't say here or there, but it is cool to be around here and just feel safe. That's, I'd have to say, above all, is every time I do experience some form or level of social anxiety or that paranoia that I've gone through because of, you know, the things that really did happen to me that were invalidated for so long, this town is like recuperating. It's making me feel safe, and that means so much to me. So Bloomsburg has always made me feel safe, and that's one thing on the track record of Bloomsburg that I can say. And then on top of all that is I met Kate here, and as far as how things move forward between us, we're trying to work that out. As of right now though, life is beautiful, God is good, and you never know what's coming, but we always make an effort to stay prepared. Thanks for checking in, guys. Oh, that's a bit slow. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna, oh my gosh. Yeah, do you see me? Like, Oh boy. Not sure how this is going to work out. No, go away. Alright guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but my phone screen is moving extremely slow. You can relax, it's all good. It's all good. This is a $100 phone, and so the live stream may or may not be working. I don't even know. Comments are on. You're more than welcome to pick up. I just don't know if it's even working, because my phone isn't all that great. Brad Barter, welcome on. He says, what comes and goes? Life. It comes and it goes. You know? Flows back and forth. Comes and goes. Sometimes it belongs to us, sometimes it doesn't. Just coming to admittance of those times and realizing when we get fooled and someone else takes over. It is working for me. Good, Brad. Thanks for letting me know. I don't really know what to talk about, as usual, but I did want to show up and have a conversation with you guys. What do I want to talk about? That's the part I'm coming to realize, is that it's always live stream. Never really talked about me. I mean, I did, but I really didn't. It's always about drama or something other than myself. Because I got afraid of sharing myself. Because when I did, I felt very unaccepted. But I'm finally realizing that I chose to be on this screen, and it's me that wants to share my life. And I still do want to share my life with you. Ooh. So, if I'm going to do that, I need to just do it. And not complain about how it goes, or about how maybe some people feel. What happened to all your iPhones? We don't have it anymore. The iPhone fairy took it away. It's just gone. It's not funny. I got answers, but I don't have answers for anybody. That if I don't want to answer, I'm just going to play around. Like I said, it's we don't have them. That's it. I'm finally learning to keep shut. I am. No one ever thought I would do it. I didn't even think I'd do it. But I'm learning my lesson. You got a new apartment. No, I did not. He goes, he lives with his mother. Very good. That's the truth. Gotta admit the truth when it's there. You're gonna get rich, keep going. I don't want to get rich anymore. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not seeking it out nearly as much. Middle class sounds good to me. Middle class is a good start, I would say. You know? Too much stress. The rich have too much stress. And I don't think, I mean, maybe one day I'll be smart enough to be wealthy, but I think for right now, I am just too much of a hothead. You know? I had to chill out. Imagine if I had all that money, and I was like the way that I've been. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about a scary guy. Thank God I didn't get rich. Bad things. You know? I think as I continue my life and become more responsible and build out my relationships, then I could probably use money for a lot better things. But right now, I would have been extremely irresponsible with it, and I hate to admit that, but it's true. I would not have done the right things with my money if I actually got money. So thank God I didn't get it yet. Alright. And that's another part that's really hard for me. It's so hard for me to block people. It's so hard. People know how much I care. You guys do know how much I care. You've always known how much I care. And no matter how much I got gaslit, and no matter how much I got manipulated, or you got manipulated into believing the insane idea that I blocked people because I was exclusive and rude, I just did it because it's the right thing to do, and people are mean to you. Get them out of your life. I mean, at least that's what I do, finally. When people are bad to me, I just say, look, I can't have you around in my life. When people are good to me, well, I say, yeah, okay. And I will say that there are some people who aren't the greatest to me that I do allow around, but, like, that's family. You know, that's people that are, like, core, that, you know, reinstitutionalizing those relationships. And I do mean institutionalizing. I mean, like, not in that sense. Rather, making sure to work things out and build them based on an institution of trust. What's up? Hi there. Welcome on. No, it's really big. But it has been quite the process, I will tell you that. Quite the process. I've made my mistakes. And I want people to know that I'm not blind to what's coming. I'm a smart guy. I have my hunches. Yet at the same time, I'm a very, very, very patient man. Far more patient than any of the men that I'm dealing with. And they just don't know it yet. Because they're old. But for the youngins out there, they see my patience, but they also see an attempt to connect the youth with the older generation. And guys, that is something we definitely need. Is a fusion between the Gen Xers and those, that are younger than me. Because they do not understand each other. And everyone, it seems to me, from the outside at least, or I guess you could say from the inside, is that the Gen Xers seem to be running away from the internet, like they're afraid of it. Or they think it's evil or something. Or like the devil's coming to get them. And I can't say that you've been fooled, but what I can say is I'm done being fooled. And I'm not looking for the devil on the internet. I'm not looking for God. I'm not looking for anything anymore. I'm here. And I do get paid on ad revenue. And I will. And that's my right and my responsibility to put food on the table. The other half of that is making an effort not to solicit inappropriately. So, like, if my content is curated towards a certain audience, simply to build out that audience and focus on them. I've always known how to do that. I was just so lazy and sloppy. And that's just negligence. And that has to change. I'm becoming more responsible. And even this broadcast right now, I may not be saying all that much that makes sense to some people. I don't know how much is making sense and what isn't. But it's the best that I've got right now. And at least I'm trying. Like, after everything, not only the stuff that happened to me, but the stuff that I've done as well, is over and over, I do take it on the chin. And you know what? It doesn't matter nearly as much anymore whether or not someone else is proud of me or hates me or says, well, you don't even deserve to breathe. Well, you know what? The people that say I don't deserve to breathe, they didn't really deserve to have a voice, far before they ever opened their mouth about me. And I do definitely support having freedoms in our country. But you know what? Having some restrictions for people who absolutely abuse their rights in a criminal way on the internet isn't such a bad thing. I think it's a fantastic thing. It's something that would have ensured the success of my career far sooner because I jumped into the Wild West and I didn't know it. But now I know it. And I also know that things are shifting and that even if my safety is a bit at risk right now, all I have to do is be a bit more safe for a couple months or a couple years. And before you know it, we can share whatever we want, whenever we want, and the criminals will not have control anymore. And that is fantastic. What's going on? Well, come on. Nothing. I mean, what's going on? What's going on? Freedom. We're enjoying our freedom. What we have left, right? We're enjoying our freedom. But that's the funny part here in our country. Even, I think Kate and I, we were so entitled and we acted so entitled with the freedoms that we do have, not realizing what a privilege they were. I can say I did that. I did that much more than Kate did. At least with words. So, I'm learning how to be more responsible with my words. Realizing how many people I affect when I open my mouth. I didn't realize that. I seriously did not realize that. Just how many people I affected. Because everybody told me. They're like, you're not that big a deal. Nobody cares. Blah, blah, blah. But then you got people out there making major life decisions based on things that I say. I didn't realize that. So now I'm being very, very careful with my words. Very careful with my words. So, I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for who God made me. And that doesn't make me better than anybody else or worse than anybody else. But it does mean that there's no such, to me, there's no such thing as a second chance. It's the continuation of that first chance, based on how hard that person works to get better. I am working rather hard to work through my anxieties and work through my paranoia and work through the mistakes of others towards me as well as my own, and to simply come to terms with the fact that I had a lot of crimes committed against me, and all of them have been left unpunished. Because right now our country lacks discipline. And I don't think more discipline or like imposing discipline on people is going to help. Maybe just helping people to see how much damage happens when people lack discipline. Maybe, hopefully, will be enough for some people to say to themselves, okay, well, I want to get better, because if I don't, then, what are things going to look like for me? Do you have food and supplies? That is between Kate and I would say. Yeah, that's between Kate and I. Thank you for asking. Are you staying someone? Is it safe? It is as safe as it can be right now. We're doing our best. We really are. I think everyone is doing their best right now. So I would ask how you guys are doing. But honestly, I would like to. I actually want to. I'm just so used to asking people how they're doing and then them using it as a way to like ploy me into focusing on someone other than myself. And then when I trip up, things go bad. But I'm going to take the risk again, because this is what I do, because I do actually care that much. And after all this time, I still come back on this screen after everything has been done to me, and I still say, how are you? How are you? How is your family? What's going on in your life? Are you safe? That goes to any of you watching. Fill me in if you'd like to. I never had an agenda, and I still don't. Alright? Maybe people above me who run the platform or whatnot have an agenda for me. But my only agenda is to get by, build my family, and have interpersonal connections. And just because I use a platform that's monetized to do it does not change the way that I use it. It doesn't. It has a lot of sway on a lot of people, but it doesn't have a sway on me anymore. It used to. That's fair. But it didn't start off having a sway over me. So, getting back to myself. Lynn says, have you had the chance to get to the doctor and be tested for Hashimoto's? No. We really haven't had a whole lot of time for anything. We're just trying to thwart this. Finally realizing it's not okay to live on the street. We shouldn't be vying to live on the street. The level of delusion I took myself to is still unfathomable to me. How I got there in my brain, I don't even know. I think I was just trying to survive. I knew how much my life and my choices were at risk if I stayed where I grew up. I never would have went anywhere. If I stayed in Wilkes-Barre, we never would have went anywhere. If we stay here in Bloomsburg long term, we won't go anywhere. And we know that. And it's not the town. No one's holding us back. It's just, I'm starting to realize that God wants me in a lot of different places. You know, that nomad, that bohemian. He wants me in different places. And, you know, that's okay. I like that. To a degree, that's how I want to live. And hopefully you guys get to enjoy the journey along the way. I'm not going outside. That may be a smart choice. Jeff says hi. Welcome on, Jeff. Are you feeling better than you were a few days ago? Kind of. And when you guys see me embracing the attention, like you see how happy I get when someone pays attention to me. It's not everybody likes being paid attention to. You know? That's completely natural. Everybody likes attention. Everybody likes attention. It's very important to understand, or at least accept, the fact that the reason I get so much attention, it's not just because of the poor choices I've made or the good ones, because I've done both. I've made good choices and poor choices. And I've gotten just about the same amount of attention from both. I work very hard to try and stay on the up and up. But now I just like to be decent. I'm not looking to be a good guy or a bad guy. And based on who I deal with, I may have to be the good guy or the bad guy. Based on who I'm dealing with. But I'm a decent guy. You know? That's what I strive for. Is decency. Basic human decency. It's a good start. Good start. And just fairness and acceptance of all. As far as equality, I don't think I have the ability to discern or judge what equality looks like. I don't have enough education on it. I just know what fair for me is, and that's the best I can do. Is try to be fair to other people based on what I know. And if I hurt people or insult people, help to correct me. Do your best to do it tenderly, because I've been very hurt, and I do want to do better. It's going to take a lot of help. It's going to take a village. I say a village to raise someone, but I may be 25, but I am finally realizing how ignorant I've been. Marilyn says, well, Jimmy and Kate, as you guys move around, please stay safe, keep yourself healthy. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. Mino Self says, where's Kate? She's chilling. She's chilling. Okay, say... She's here. Kate's here. She's here. Okay, go for it. Welcome on, Honey Badger. How are you? Chilling? She's chilling. She's chilling. She's getting some hotcakes. So that's, I mean, I don't have much more to say. I like spending time with you guys, but there's not a whole lot of people that want to talk to me anymore. So, that's okay. I like starting from the ground up. There's a lot of short-sighted people that are going to decide the things that are going to happen in the ensuing months, and think that they've sealed a coffin or something crazy like that, but they don't have vision. I do. And I appreciate you being patient and keeping the faith, you might say, as our lives continue to increase. And even if Kate and I have a period where we're apart, which may be a possibility, we're going to work it all the way through. Because that's what we do. And people do not understand our relationship, even to this point. But it is really simple. It's not that complicated or complex. Just a few main principles that we stick to, and abuse not being one of them. But that was rather an effect of a lot of different statutes that I was applying in my life based on very chauvinistic men that are now no longer involved. How's Kate's birthday? Happy B-Day, by the way. It's Kate's birthday. It was good. That's the most that I can share. It was good. Yeah, it was good. This is decent. Birthday is decent. Alright, so at what point am I allowed to block that guy? I mean, it's my show. Why am I asking you? Guess what? I know. I do know who's healthy and unhealthy. Like, I just know. I just know. And I don't know why I have ever questioned I question myself on that, because you know why? Because I'm like, how on earth could I have that good of intuition? I was questioning my own intuition. I am that good. I actually am that good. And I let everyone else tell me it wasn't true. Till the point where I questioned myself. And guys, it's not pride. When I say I am that good, like, please do not take it as a point of inappropriate pride or that I'm so full of myself. I have a skill. That's it. Everybody has a skill. And when you have a skill that you have really, really honed, you're proud of it. And there's nothing wrong with a little pride if it matches with humility. When I do this show with you guys, it is humble, okay? It's stepping out of the way to try and make a connection with people. And regardless of the paycheck, it's still, it's servitude, because I'm pretty much a slave to the screen. For whoever sees it and doesn't see it, I'm pretty much a slave to the screen. And that's by choice. And it doesn't, I'm not a slave, but essentially is, you know, I've chosen to let my career pretty much run my life. And how do I say it? Subjecting myself to that has really shifted and increased my life in so many ways. It's changed what I am, just not, it hasn't changed who I am. It's just helped me to find the most accurate version of what I am based on who I am. Jeff says, well, no matter what you do, you'll do exactly what you need to do to live your life the way you choose. Jeff has learned that over time. Definitely. Year over year, I would say that that is quite accurate. I'll do whatever it takes. So. I'm on my time and I decide what I want to do. I don't think I want to be on any longer. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. Here to support you. Thank you, Chatty Cat. There's my... Oop. There's Chatty Cat. Thank you. So I guess we know who's here. Hate to admit it, but you know what? Past is the past, and the present speaks. I wanted my family, I got my family. And I'm grateful for what's left. What's left of it. Maybe we can salvage, you know, the rest and realize when people aren't salvage. We can figure out the rest and move forward together. And hopefully, in time, with healing and love, we'll be able to share the same with Kate. Now, we don't know. We don't know. But I'll tell you what, every move in the opposite direction does not help the cause of rekindling her relationships. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And they don't see it. They don't know. People don't know how much she's changed. I love you. I love you so much. My heart burns for you. That's why I talk. I love her more than any of you do. Any of you. And I'm proving it. More so to myself, I think, than anyone else. You know? I thought because, you know, my foster family, they wanted me to work on the farm and do things. And I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I worked in the farmer's market. I sold produce. Why? I didn't want to work in the field. And I felt so guilty about that, and I'd been guilted growing up, and you know, that's not on them. They, you know, they were trying to raise me. I'm a boy. I'm a man. They wanted me to learn those traditional values. That was their goal. And there was just something in me that knew it wasn't for me. It wasn't where I wanted to be. And then I think there's a lot of different people throughout my life that really have tried to help me. They didn't necessarily try to put me in a box. They weren't trying to do that. And I wasn't trying to do that to them either. I did, and they did too. I'm owning my half. That's enough for me, so I can get forward. You know, and I have to let everyone else come in their own time. I'm a man that's very in touch with his feelings. And I think I've been very out of touch with the analytical side of my personality up until around 2016, I would say. Around 2016 is when I really first started to engage with the more, I guess you'd say, masculine side of my personality. I mean, I did start to do that at 18. I did. but it had a lot more to do with proving things to other people. In 2016, it was definitely about finding who I am. You know, I locked myself in my foster mom's upstairs, and I was just studying algorithms for months. And I wrote on the walls, Kate, proof. You saw the markings?
Yeah.
I did. I covered the walls and all these different...
You can see where it bled through.
You see where it bled through. I learned all about the internet. Like, all this stuff having to do with social media. And I couldn't describe it to you as I sit here today. But it's like my brain, like, I just know what I'm doing. And I cannot describe it to anybody. Whatever happened, however it happened, I'm trying to utilize it in the best way that I can. And it's not just about me getting what I want. It never really was. I just had so many people who told me that I was making it all about me that I started to believe it. And then I started to doubt my mentors. And so then I doubted myself. And well, then I guess my hurt bled through right into the screen. And no matter how sorry I am to those of you who are affected by the pain that I experienced, it doesn't change it. You know, it still happened. And that's you included. So I think a good portion of I'd say the next 3 years of my life are going to be mending those relationships and rebuilding the trust with everybody, because I'm not starting new. I'm not starting over. And, you know, Feetpeace is mine. And so I have to own that and let the criminals be criminals and do whatever they got to do. But in the long run, as long as we stay honest and realize that honesty and transparency don't always have to go together, that we can protect our privacy while I share my life online. Have you been tested for corona? I was cleared and checked at the hospital. Was it checked?
It said we got
screened.
We had a sticker saying we got screened.
We got screened for corona, and we're cleared for the screening. We weren't necessarily tested. We were told that we cannot get tested unless we show more symptoms or something like that. I never doubted your heart. I knew your intentions were good. I appreciate that, Chatty Cat. And what I have finally realized is what I always knew, and I tried to preach it to everyone in my environment through my whole life. Truly, I did. All right, this is a big one for me. I love you guys. I need you to listen. It's a big one for me. I always say to everyone who was trying to justify to me their position as to why I was wrong and they were right, far before the internet, literally before I even got on the internet, actions are just as important as intentions. The part that I got wrong in the past, I would say, well, actions are more important than intentions. The actions are just as important as the intentions, because based on how we act, it will help to translate how other people perceive our intentions. And when my thyroid was off, when my communication was off, I had a very poor time at communicating what my intentions were, because my actions didn't match. And it's going to take a lot of work and a very long time to help people back to a place of trust with me. And because this is my life, I'm putting in the work. And I won't give up on it. And it's not because I can't or whatever. I've always been the one that wanted this. Now I have it. I always wanted Feetpeace. Now I have it. I always wanted Kate. Now I have her. She's not property, but I get to be with her. You know? And I'm starting to wonder if there's actually people out there that genuinely believe that I see her as property, because they're in denial of the you know, the very articulate notion based on not only circumstantial evidence but very accurate theories that they see her as property. But I'm defending her when I shouldn't even have to. I am not a traditional man. I'm not. Caitlin does not need defended, but literally because it's so difficult to, you know, believe, I guess, that we're defending each other. And it's just so inappropriate, and it shouldn't have to happen. And I think in time, as people come to see the improving of our health and our relationship and all those things, that it'll be okay in the long run. I just think the next couple of years are gonna be a little rough, but they're gonna be some of the best years of our life because they'll be formative, and it'll be us growing together. Well, either separate or apart, it'll be us growing together. So, yeah. Nice, glad you were screened. Scary stuff. Oh, it's a little disconcerting. It can make you a little nervous. I'm here, says Charlene. Welcome on, Charlene. How are you? I forgot. You're okay. I appreciate you're here. So now we're at 31 minutes. This is good. Glad my comments aren't disappearing. Yes, it is good. And we appreciate that you're here. That's another piece of it. Rekindling our family. And realizing that Caitlin on some level is being adopted into our family. She's being adopted, more or less, into the Saroka family because she is only 19. And she has a lot to learn. She's 20. She's 20 now. She has a lot to learn, a lot of ways to grow. It's very important that I help you guys understand that when Caitlin and I met, I was not on this level of articulation. I was not okay. So when Caitlin and I met, maybe I was a smooth talker. Maybe I was all cute and whatever. But that was the best that I had at that point. I mean, our first date, I was just spilling my guts to her about my problems. And she wanted to be my savior, and we ended up in a really unhealthy relationship for a long time. Yeah. And at the end of that bout of unhealthiness, we decided, we worked this hard, why quit now? We're finally in a decent place, why quit? So we're working through the rest of it, and it's really cool. I mean, the first half of it, the first year and a half, you can't say it's cool. It's not cool, and it's not something to smile about or laugh about necessarily. It's disastrous. But we made it out. And we made it through alive. And that really matters. And it's possible that the ball is about to drop, or it's possible that the ball will never drop. But either way, as long as I know that the ball is in my court, and it is, my ball is always in my court, because I'm real good at knowing how to handle it, that I'm going to be okay, at least long term. So glad you met. Chatty Cat, godsend. Caitlin has been a godsend to my life. Absolutely. And she deserves the best. And so do I. And she's the first person to ever truly say to me that I deserve the best, other than my own mother. Now, my mom, she loves me. But, it's like, just because she's my mom. You know what I mean? Whereas Kate, she's seen the worst of me and the best of me, and she still says that, based on, now her father did teach her how to be very analytical. So she looks at me, she deciphers my personality, and she still says, yes, Jim, you are a good person. You're doing good things. It's not just belief. It's very obvious you're a good person. It's just you've been through a lot, and you're working through it. And she's right. She's right about me. For the first time, someone else is right about me, which is why I let her be in my interior environment. Love you, Mom, says Charlene. That's good. Is Mom here? Yeah, she's in here. It's the Saroka show. Here we go. Got the Sarokas all in here. It's good. It's good. I think the toughest part is going to be the attention factor because, I think a lot of people, I already see your pupils getting wide. A lot of people want the attention that I have. They do. And they don't realize that is the most difficult part of it all. Because once you have that attention and people are watching, you have to be so careful of what you say and what you do. And you guys have seen how irresponsible I've been. Do not envy me. Do not envy me. Unless you're putting the work in, do not envy me. Because this level of attention, even when it was good, can really negatively affect a person if we're not responsible with it. And now most of the attention I have right now is very negative. But it's not a matter of me changing so quickly or whatever. you know, from the way I was back then. It's that I wasn't that person, and you did watch me change slowly over time, but I didn't change. My environment did, very heavily. And slowly but surely, day by day, very, very controlling and manipulative people took over my life. Essentially took over my life. Caitlin included. Caitlin was one of them. She was one of them. And I finally came to the point where I reacted to her. And I said, look, I am an extremely committed person. But I made it very clear, you know, in an inappropriate way, that I was not going to be abused or controlled any longer. And that I was not seeking to control her. I was not seeking to control anybody else. And I was pushed into a corner where I was gaslit on accident. Because Caitlin did not mean to receive my behavior as controlling. Like, I know, like, at the end it got really bad. But I mean, for the longest time as things went forward, she didn't mean to, like, receive it. Because I wasn't being controlling. I said a lot of things. I said a lot of things that the way that her parents would be, or that her dad would be. But I said them in a way that I was actually just sincere. And because growing up, she had always had, you know, extra agendas on top of that. You know, intentional or unintentional, that she perceived, she could see them, just the way I saw them with my family. But our families are always in denial. That's our family, right? That's family. It's just, it's tough. But we work through it. And that's her part of the story. But she had always perceived that I was being that way. And so it even came off on screen. And it really, really looked that way. To the point where it did get that way. Between both of us. We were controlling each other. We were the most unhealthy we could be for one another. And I was essentially placed with a choice in front of me. You guys or Kate? I chose me. Said no to everybody. I shut the screen off. I looked Kate in the face. I said, you want to be with me? Grow up. I'm not doing this anymore. I love you very much, but we are going to spend every minute working this through, or we're not staying together. Because I already know how unhealthy this is. You're the one in denial. And we're working it through. And I appreciate you allowing me to share this. I really do, because it's my side of the story. And Caitlin is choosing that she does not want to share her side. That's her prerogative. And regardless of anyone else's perception of it, that's just called her maintaining her privacy. I'm the one that signed up to give it away on some level. That is not her being abused or hid away. It is her choice to maintain her privacy. Regardless of what the public says, just realize if you genuinely care about her, you'll leave her out of your mouth. She's my girlfriend. With her permission, I have permission to talk about her. She is not giving you permission to talk about her. I'm just putting that out there. Take of it what you may. So we worked it through, and we're still working it through. And things are so much better every day. Every day. So, Mom, Charlene, thanks for being here with me. Everybody who's here watching in the background or who may be watching the rebroadcast, I appreciate that you are here and a part of my life on some level. I'm learning healthy boundaries, and it means a lot to me that you're not assuming what I'm doing right or wrong. And it means a lot to me that you are making an effort to evaluate my truthfulness and what you believe or don't believe. And for those of you who are willing to, over time, give me another chance, even if it takes years, just keep it in the back of your mind that I actually am a good person and that way more happened to me than you know. It does mean a lot to me. And I will put the work in to make sure that you see who I am again. Because you never really did. I was a naive kid, and my intentions were pure. But the way that I went about it, it wasn't intentionally corrupt. I had just never been taught about, like, the order of things. How important the order of things was. But the order is just as important as the execution. I'm learning. Are you still seeking a new name or keeping Feetpeace? I'm working that out. I'm working that out. Feetpeace is mine no matter what happens, and realistically, if anything legal does go down as far as Feetpeace, it's only going to come as a major backlash to everybody involved, you know, making an effort to harshen my name further, because the pattern that I do see is that everyone who has tried to hurt me has absolutely ruined their own life trying to do it. And they either trying to compensate and say that they got some benefit from it when really they didn't get all that much benefit. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. All I know is it seems that the major pattern with me is that no matter whether people do good or bad by me, I seem to be a very positive effect on society, believe it or not. I might not have always been the most positive effect on myself, but by far and large, my existence here on social media, it really has done a lot more good for people than bad. Even when my actions weren't great, it still affected people in a way where they were more careful. And when my actions were good, it affected people in a way where they were more trusting. And I can't take credit for that. That's good people. So if there's one thing I've learned from social media, is that people are a lot more good than we give them credit for. And a lot more, you know, people have a lot more faith, you might say. What is Feetpeace? Feetpeace is the most positive community in the world. And so no, Aiden, that's the truth, is I'm not seeking a new name. And every day I do use Feetpeace, it is not negatively detrimenting me, because the person who purchased the trademark did it, it's a crime. It's a crime. And so I don't know how it'll be found out. I don't know if I'll be the one finding it out, but I'm done being silenced. And like literally silenced by, you know, criminals. Feetpeace, Feetpeace, Feetpeace. It's not a crime, it's not a curse word. You know, and the name might not be the greatest right now, but it's still mine. And I'm not looking to run from it anymore. It's mine. That's just how it is. So welcome to Feetpeace. Sorry, had an order. That's okay. I hope you find the answers you seek. I never did. It's painful. I have faith in you. Lynn, I appreciate that. I am finally at a point where I'm not seeking anything. And I'll explain that. Love you too, Shasta Cat. I'm not seeking anything anymore. I'm letting things come to me. I'm being patient. Waiting for others. As best as I can. Where do I go with that? The old saying is, seek and ye shall find. I say that's the problem. Well, we get so busy seeking, we find something. Whether or not it's what we want to find, and the amount of time it took to find it, well, different story. So, I don't really seek anything anymore, because by the time I find it, it's too late. So, love you and Kate. Thank you, Chatty Cat. And as far as the unhealthy audience that we have, you know, at this point, I would say a rather unhealthy audience. I'll just keep working it through. I'll get there. But I do have to continue to purge my life of the passive-aggressive narcissistic behavior that I receive. It's not welcome, and it's not going to stay. I stand up for myself against every woman and man who is just seeking control of my life so heavily when they see me in a vulnerable place. My vulnerability is not weakness. My kindness is not weakness. I don't think you're mistaking my vulnerability for weakness. But you may just be so used to getting your way when you see someone willing to be vulnerable, like children. It's unfortunate. But the love in my heart keeps me focused on the truth. That as long as I continue to stay on the up and up and keep focused on the good people, none of the abusers get the credit. Because they don't deserve it. You do. And you know who I'm talking about. And I don't, that's the funniest thing, is when it comes to the comments, I never had paranoia. I didn't. Not in the beginning. And I don't now. I do know what I'm doing every single time. Just can't explain it. So, that's that. But, at this point, I am shutting down because I am tired. I want to relax. I want to enjoy the rain with Kate. And we want to probably chill and watch a movie, maybe. So, you know, what I'm finally learning, and this is going to be important for you guys, is that the further you go, the better you get, the more aggressive and skilled psychopaths that you're going to attract. And they're going to be so good at what they do that you will not see them if you're on that level. Or if you're on that level, you will, but other people won't. And just got to deal with the repercussions of how it's going to look when you got to get rid of the psychos. Just people with psychopathic tendencies. Thank you, Caitlin. Unhealthy people with psychopathic tendencies. Controlling, extremely controlling, manipulative, and psychopathic tendencies. And I'm not always going to know who's who, but based on the comments, I do. The funny thing is, there's a few things that don't tell me who someone is. Thank God. A like, a dislike, or super chat, or a view. That doesn't tell me who someone is. But when they open their mouth, I officially know. Thank God for free speech. Chatty Cat says, my friend had really bad circumstances. That's awesome, Chatty Cat. What I will say, with love, is that it's someone else's story, and it is theirs to tell. So, with that said, I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. And I don't know when I'm going to see you next. I'm definitely going to need some time to, work through this broadcast and heal. But hopefully this is very productive for you guys, because it was very productive for us as well. On one point is all the conversation we had here and the connection. Another point is me working through my anxieties and my paranoia. Another piece is finally admitting to myself that there are some people out there that no matter how healthy you are or what you work through, that they will still seek to destroy your life. And I'm still learning how to wrap my head around behavior like that. I don't want to understand, I guess, because I feel like if I understand them, it's going to destroy me. I just don't want to know. I don't even want to know them. I don't even want to know. Maybe I have to. I don't know. But some scary stuff. Stuff that I'm finally willing to admit that I'm not equipped for. Yet. Not yet. And lastly is the, $10 to $20 that we'll make on this live stream for those of you who watched all the way through. Thank you for being here with us. That means a lot. And thank you for the $2 super chat. Some of the comments disappeared. That happens sometimes. That happens. So, what have we all learned about Jimmy Saroka? Hopefully, that I do find money important. Finally. 2, that money is not the most important thing to me. 3, that family does come first. That's something I've learned from the good and the bad guys. Family's got to come first. Okay, everyone does it. Guess I'm doing it too. It's the thing that makes the most sense. And I look at everyone who's left their family behind, and good things don't happen. 4, social influence and my name also matter. Character matters more, but my name matters too. And 5, when there are unhealthy people in my life, it is the best thing to politely invite them out the door. And to leave on a positive note, my health is on the upswing. And you guys are a big reason it is. Good night, and welcome to Feetpeace, the most positive community in the world. Are you still seeking a new name or keeping Feetpeace? I'm working that out. I'm working that out. Feetpeace is mine no matter what happens, and realistically, if anything legal does go down as far as Feetpeace, it's only going to come as a major backlash to everybody involved, you know, making an effort to harshen my name further, because the pattern that I do see is that everyone who has tried to hurt me has absolutely ruined their own life trying to do it, and they're trying to compensate and say that they got some benefit from it when really they didn't get all that much benefit. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. All I know is it seems that the major pattern with me is that no matter whether people do good or bad by me, I seem to be a very positive effect on society, believe it or not. I might not have always been the most positive effect on myself, but by far and large, my existence here on social media, it really has done a lot more good for people than bad. Even when my actions weren't great, it still affected people in a way where they were more careful. And when my actions were good, it affected people in a way where they were more trusting. And I can't take credit for that. That's good people. So if there's one thing I've learned from social media, is that people are a lot more good than we give them credit for. And a lot more, you know, people have a lot more faith, you might say. What is Feetpeace? Feetpeace is the most positive community in the world. And so no, Aiden, that's the truth, is I'm not seeking a new name. And every day I do use Feetpeace, it is not negatively detrimenting me, because the person who purchased the trademark did it, it's a crime. It's a crime. And so I don't know how it'll be found out. I don't know if I'll be the one finding it out, but I'm done being silenced. And like literally silenced by, you know, criminals. Feetpeace, Feetpeace, Feetpeace. It's not a crime, it's not a curse word. You know, and the name might not be the greatest right now, but it's still mine. And I'm not looking to run from it anymore. It's mine. That's just how it is. So welcome to Feetpeace. Today, Kate and I did go out, and I finally, like, I stood my ground, and she didn't do anything wrong. It was just me, like, knowing I'm sick and I shouldn't be out, and who knows who's going to be at the library. I mean, maybe somebody, maybe not. But I said, I'm like, I want to go back to the house, which is something I've never done before. I've never really done that, is I've always taken the extra risk. And now to the point where my own life is at risk, I'm thinking, why am I going so far for everyone else when I can't even breathe? And, you know, Caitlin respected that choice. She respected that decision and that request for us to go back to the house. You know, she saw, okay, you're being responsible. Absolutely, no problem. We can go to the library another day. Because I love her, and I'm very grateful that we're getting along. I think that's really good. It's a good start. But at the same time, I'm finally learning to take care of my own health. And I know you guys would appreciate hearing that. And it's not at the cost of anything for anybody else except convenience at this point. You know, as far as my mom, she's doing what she wants to do. It is. But I think in time, people will come to see what I have to offer to their life. And with the state of things in society, it's very unfortunate. But I'm the one who, for the past few years, learned how to survive on nothing when I didn't have to. And while everyone else said, well, what are you doing, what are you doing? I am the most emotionally and psychologically secure at this point, as opposed to everyone else who had all of these quote-unquote advantages. Who don't necessarily know how to survive beyond a certain point once they've liquidated their assets and things like that. So for me, I'm trying to see how we can all work together to move forward. And if there's anyone interested in learning that from me, and also offering, you know, me an opportunity to just get food in my belly, but I'm still a sucker to help people. So if you ever have any real questions, I always am open to answering them. So thanks for being here, guys. I love you, and talk to you soon.